the cause you choose to make Purdue the best. Qualities that make someone a hero for today. And the silent cheering of the crowd somehow tells you they are proud. And as we bend our knees to pray, may we find a way to say thanks to a hero for today.
A $1 billion campaign, academic success, engaging the state, a bowl victory. Purdue University traveled the path to preeminence in 2002.
In September, Purdue University kicked off its largest capital campaign ever, $1.3 billion.
Purdue history was made when President Martin Jischke announced the most ambitious capital campaign ever for a university in Indiana.
I believe 100 years from now, people will look back and say this was the moment Purdue took control of its future and drove off on a course of preeminence and world leadership for the 21st century.
The funds from the campaign for Purdue have been earmarked for student scholarships, faculty, programs and centers, and facilities and equipment. Slightly more than half the total had been raised by the end of December. History was made again when Indianapolis businessman William Bindley donated $52.5 million, the largest individual gift ever made to the university.
And I'm convinced that bioscience is one of the most exciting fields of new discovery in the history of human learning. I also believe that this university is the one place that can make it happen.
Bindley has targeted $7.5 million of his gift to help build the $18 million Bindley Bioscience Center in Purdue's Discovery Park. The remaining $45 million will fund endowments for faculty chairs, student scholarships and fellowships, and academic programs.
This is going to be one of the most exciting weeks in the history of this great university.
The campaign kickoff climaxed Discover Purdue Week, a week-long celebration of major groundbreakings and historic gift announcements. The week began with a nearly $750,000 gift from Tom Spurgeon of Peoria, Illinois, toward a $1.8 million indoor golf training center to be built at the Burke Boilermaker Golf Complex this fall. Burton D. Morgan was honored with fireworks and singing by the Purduettes at a Las Vegas-style groundbreaking celebration for the Center for Entrepreneurship that bears his name. The Morgan Foundation is donating $7 million to fund the 31,000 square foot center, which will be located in Purdue's Discovery Park. Ground was broken for 2 engineering projects, a $20 million addition for chemical engineering and an $11 million civil engineering laboratory that will be among the best in the nation for studying large structures such as bridges and buildings. The 96,000 square foot chemical engineering expansion was led by a $10 million gift from Robert and Marilyn Forney of Unionville, Pennsylvania.
We will have much greater facilities for educating our undergraduate students, but in particular, we will now have the facilities to do the research that needs to be done in chemical engineering in the 21st century.
Indianapolis alumnus Robert Bowen and his wife Terry donated $3.25 million toward the new civil engineering lab.
This will be the premier civil engineering structural laboratory of its kind in the nation. It's so big you can put a 4-story building in the laboratory and shake it to destruction. You've opened up great opportunities for them.
General Motors, Sun Microsystems, and EDS announced an in-kind gift valued at more than $116 million, the largest corporate gift in Purdue history.
Since our founding, Purdue has a very strong tradition of preparing students to step directly from the classroom into the world of work. They hit the ground running. This PACE initiative strengthens that tradition. Welcome to Purdue on the Road in Chicago.
The campaign for Purdue went on the road in November, stopping at Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry. The event included informational displays and comments from President Jischke.
There's more building taking place at Purdue today than at any other time in our history, and our schools and programs continue to be ranked among the very best in the nation, and indeed in the world.
The Purdue on the Road tour will continue through 2003.
The university continues to be involved in the state, local, and international communities.
So we're going to go in the engagement office first.
Purdue opened a new Office of Engagement in Indianapolis. The office will build relationships with Indianapolis area leaders that will promote economic development in central Indiana. The office is headed by former president of the Purdue Alumni Association, Tom Carroll.
Okay, we found some more stuff.
A new partnership between Purdue and Indianapolis Public Schools aims to attract underrepresented students to careers in engineering, science, math, and technology. Science Bound, a program initiated by President Jischke, includes sessions at their Indianapolis schools as well as summer activities at Purdue. 50 students have been chosen for the 5-year program. Upon completion, students will receive a full scholarship to Purdue.
My hope is our Science Bound program will help us encourage lots of young people to pursue an education here at Purdue, and that some of them will go on to be great scholars.
Academics and research remain a top priority here at Purdue.
And the net meeting protocols just say, here's a shared document.
For the 7th time in the last 15 years, a Purdue faculty member was selected Indiana Professor of the Year. Leah Jamison, the Ransburg Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering, was chosen for extraordinary dedication to undergraduate teaching, as well as commitment to students and innovative teaching methods.
On one hand, it's wonderful, and I'm really excited and honored by it, but I'm also embarrassed because it's really an award that should be going to a long list of people.
In 1995, Jamison co-founded Purdue's Engineering Projects in Community Service, also known as EPICS. Teams of undergraduates earn academic credit for solving engineering and technology-based problems for community service and education organizations.
Okay, see the difference between the ecotexture and the liver?
The Purdue Comparative Oncology program continues to improve the outlook for pets and people with cancer. The program conducts studies that help pets while providing leads for treating similar cancers in humans. Purdue received a $10 million grant to lead the NASA Specialized Center of Research and Training for Advanced Life Support. Director Carrie Mitchell, professor of horticulture, says the center will develop advanced life support technologies for sustaining human life on Mars and elsewhere in space.
And I would like to present this plaque.
The donation of nearly 500 items to the Purdue libraries has made Purdue the largest, most comprehensive site for materials related to the life, career, and disappearance of aviator Amelia Earhart. Sally Putnam Chapman, the granddaughter of Earhart's husband, George Putnam, donated the items that include rarely seen personal papers, poetry, and flight logs. The Great Blimp Race competition between students from the School of Mechanical Engineering and the Department of Aviation Technology featured 2 radio-controlled blimps designed by the students. Each blimp had to navigate a predetermined course inside the armory. The event was won by the mechanical engineers.
Purdue students enjoy many campus activities.
After a 3-year absence, a Purdue tradition returned to campus. University Sing, the all-campus performance competition between housing units and student organizations, returned in April. The show also featured a segment by the Purdue Varsity Glee Club called Phenomena. More than 5,200 students walked across the stage of Elliott Hall to receive their degrees. Graduates and guests heard comments from President Jischke and PAA President Phil Wade.
You may have some of the same memories of your years spent on campus as I have. Memories of the people you met, the relationships and friendships that you established, the professors who went out of their way to help you, the advisors who guided you along the way.
Tangra Riggle, a liberal arts senior from Rensselaer, Indiana, was named Miss Indiana. She went on to place in the top 15 in the Miss America pageant. In the talent competition, she sang her rendition of God Bless America. She delighted Purdue audiences by singing it again at many university events. Robin Andrews, a senior from San Jose, California, out-twirled 5 competitors to become Purdue's 23rd Golden Girl. Andrews was the girl in black in 2001. Joining Andrews as a new solo twirler was Krista Woodward, a senior from Waterford, Michigan, as the girl in black.
Purdue's landscape changed with the addition of new faces and new facilities.
Several new faces joined the Purdue family this year. Purdue alumnus and former administrator Dennis Depew was named the new dean of Purdue's School of Technology. Toby Parcell was named the new dean of the School of Liberal Arts, while John Pizzuto became the new dean of the Schools of Pharmacy, Nursing, and Health Sciences. Jeffrey Vitter was named Purdue's Frederick L. Hovde Dean of the School of Science. A new face joined the Purdue Research Foundation as Joseph Hornet was named Senior Vice President and Treasurer.
Like somebody once suspected I was hired by John Purdue.
The Purdue community lost a treasure when former Administrator John Hicks passed away on December 20th at the age of 81. He was a professor of ag economics and a trusted advisor to 3 Purdue presidents. Sometimes called Mr. Purdue, Hicks was acting president in 1982 and 83. Hicks then served as senior vice president until his 1987 retirement. Hicks also served as Purdue's chief lobbyist with the Indiana General Assembly. Work and fundraising continues on the Visual and Performing Arts Building located at Marsteller and Wood Streets. The 4-story, 167,000 square foot structure will house Purdue's theater, art and design, music, and dance programs. The university is seeking additional gifts to complete the project.
That's all right, that's all right, isn't it?
Bringing together of the 4 divisions under one roof is going to provide some incredible synergy. The divisions of art and design, theater and music and dance will provide the opportunity for tremendous interdisciplinary research and discovery for both faculty and students.
And Nancy, you may want to watch what he's doing.
Former Purdue President Arthur Hansen surprised his wife, Nancy, with a gift of $1.8 million to name the VPA's Proscenium Theater in her honor.
Arts is a part of Purdue. Oftentimes you'll hear somebody say, well, should my kid go to Purdue? That's an engineering school. This is more than that.
Located near the new facility stands a 40-foot bronze sculpture donated by the class of 1952. The sculpture, Transformation, was created by Spanish artist Faustino Escorbé. This portrait was unveiled as part of the ceremony to rename the Liberal Arts and Education Building in honor of Purdue President Emeritus Stephen C. Beering. Work continued on the $35 million Rawls Hall, which will house management offices and classrooms. The project is on target for completion in 2003. Construction is underway on Northwest Indiana's first business incubator near Merrillville. The high-tech incubator will be called the Purdue Technology Center of Northwest Indiana.
You guys set?
Ground was broken on the second phase of the Purdue Research Park in September. A new press box and private suites at Ross-Ade Stadium were unveiled in the fall. The $70 million renovation of the stadium continues through this summer.
This is All Things Considered on WBAA.
Indiana's longest continually operating radio station, WBAA, celebrated its 80th year. Now settled in a remodeled facility featuring state-of-the-art technology, the station also altered its programming to make National Public Radio news programs available to more listeners. The IPFW campus will soon feature student housing. The $28 million project calls for a 220-unit, 568-bed student housing complex to accommodate a growing full-time student enrollment.
The Purdue Alumni Association has been involved in new projects in familiar traditions.
15,500, and the dollars are still coming in.
Announcement of a new scholarship in his name was one of the highlights of the January retirement of Senior Associate Director Jack Carl.
I viewed my career as a priceless tapestry, and each of you are the threads of that tapestry.
His retirement party featured a casino theme. Jack served the association and the club program for more than 30 years.
Thank you.
Thanks.
In April, the association congratulated graduating seniors at Senior Send-Off. Nearly 1,000 attended the event, where they received a free sub-sandwich lunch, information about PAA, and other giveaways.
How do you find your flag?
Also in April, alumni gathered for Gala Weekend. Attendees marched in the class parade, socialized at reunion dinners, and attended the Grand Prix race, where freshman Timothy O'Brien won the title. Eric Goginski, a 2000 graduate, won the alumni race.
In doing so, she partnered with
The Alumni Association Citizenship Awards were presented to 5 Indiana alumni at the Founders Day banquet. Honored for commitment to their communities were Jack Dyson from Anderson, Erica King from Lafayette, Terry McCain from Zionsville, Jim Schilling from Knox, and Otis Thompson from Schererville. PAA participated in 3 new special events this year. In July, staff traveled to Chicago's Navy Pier to meet alumni at Purdue Day in Chicago.
Hello.
Giveaways and association information also were distributed during Purdue Day at the Indiana State Fair in August.
The big message that we are sending around the state is that Purdue is a great university and it's getting better.
In September, the PAA student ambassadors represented PAA in the homecoming parade by driving the Pride Mobile.
There you go, perfect.
The Alumni Association played a big role in Purdue's first campus-wide homecoming event that filled Central Campus with Purdue activities as well as 3 stages with entertainment.
Sue me, what can you do me?
Also in the fall, PAA presented its Special Boilermakers and Young Alumni Awards. Receiving the Special Boilermaker Award was Scott Cassander from the Purdue Computing Center and Sandra Monroe, the Assistant Vice President for Student Services. Alums Scott Briney and Randy Kmeyer were honored as Outstanding Young Alumni. Briney is an active member of the Purdue Club of Chicago, while Kmeyer is a member of the Purdue Club of Fort Wayne and a former regional director of the Purdue Alumni Association. Progress continues on the Dick and Sandy Dowk Alumni Center. Due to be completed in early 2004, the center will house the Alumni Association and Development Office.
With another trip to a bowl game, Purdue continues to excel in athletics.
With a 34-10 shellacking of Indiana, Purdue's football players joyfully recaptured the Old Oaken Bucket and propelled themselves into a bowl game for the 6th straight year. The team accepted an invitation to return to the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas for the 2nd year in a row. They faced Washington, the same team they lost to 2 years ago at the Rose Bowl. Sophomore quarterback Kyle Orton passed for 283 yards and 2 touchdowns as Purdue overcame a 17-point first quarter deficit to beat the Huskies 34-24.
It's a tackle trap. They open up the hole, and Joey Harris finds the end zone.
With the bowl victory, the team salvaged a winning record at 7 wins and 6 losses. Although the men's basketball team suffered a disappointing season, junior guard Willie Dean earned all-conference recognition. He was voted 2nd team All-Big Ten by the media and 3rd team All-Big Ten by the coaches. The team finished with a 13-18 record.
Noon working inside, count the basket.
basket.
The women's team ended its season with a 24-6 record after falling to Old Dominion in the second round of the NCAA tournament.
Look at Camara making that shot. I mean, that is tough shot ability at a tough time in this ball game.
Standout senior guard Kelly Camara was named the 2002 NCAA Woman of the Year for the state of Indiana and was selected by the Indiana Fever in the 2002 WNBA draft. The first-team All-Big Ten selection was named the conference's Defensive Player of the Year and also earned Kodak All-District honors. On its way to a first-ever berth in the NCAA tournament, the Purdue women's soccer team upset 9th-ranked Michigan 1-0. At the tourney, Purdue defeated Eastern Illinois before losing to Notre Dame. Senior defender Elise Berry was named first-team All-Big Ten. Senior Jessica Baumhoff was named second-team All-Big Ten. And coach Robert Clotty was named Big Ten Coach of the Year. All-American golfer Lee Williamson won the 102nd Indiana Amateur Championship in June. The 2002 Big Ten Golfer of the Year fired a 4-round 288, blowing away the field by 8 strokes. The Purdue cheerleaders finished second in the National Cheerleaders Association competition, its best finish ever. Under first-year coach Sue Bailey, the squad finished less than 0.2 of a point behind champion North Texas.
We hope you enjoyed this year's Newsreel, and it's brought to you because of your continued support. Thank you for supporting your university and your alumni association. Hail Purdue!
Hail to Oak, Purdue, all hail to our Oak, gold and black. Hail to Oak, Purdue, our friendship may she never lack. Ever grateful, ever true, as we raise our song on him. Fire up, the